Good evening, everyone. My name is Jeanette Alomia, District Director of Guidance, and welcome class of 2027 students and families. We will be giving you a very informative presentation tonight. Bienvenidos, clase de 2027, padres y familias. Soy la señora Jeanette Alomia, directora de Consejería y Pruebas del distrito, y hoy vamos a presentarle una información bilingüe acerca de la transición a la escuela superior aquí de Huntington. We will be starting here as the general presentation will be here, held in the auditorium. And at the end of this general presentation, you will be invited to join the breakout sessions with your respective counselors. And so towards the end, I will direct you to your respective rooms and locations, and it will be a great evening for you. For those that know of someone who couldn't make it, we will be recording this portion of the presentation. However, we will not be able to record every single breakout session, but we will post the talking points, outlines, as well as the packet onto the website, as well as the recording on the website and our YouTube channel. Esta noche, si alguien no está presente, la presentación va a ser grabada ahorita, esta presentación general, pero lamentablemente no se puede presentar la información en el grupo con los consejeros. La presentación oral y la presentación del paquete que se va a entregar va a ser también postado y publicado en la página, en el sitio de la página del distrito escolar. Okay, so let's begin. So the agenda for today, we just welcome you and I introduce myself. I just wanted to take this time to introduce our amazing school counselors. First and foremost, we have Mrs. Ivy Avallero. Yeah, you can go ahead, give them a round of applause. Ms. Bonilla, who couldn't be here tonight. Mrs. Brunoni, Lauren Brunoni. Mrs. Evelyn Hernandez, she'll be with us shortly. Mr. Steve Lashen. Ms. Daphne Marcelin. Ms. Daniela Vargas couldn't be with us tonight. And Ms. Bernadette Walsh, you'll be meeting with her momentarily in the future as the college counselor, school counselor as well. And so the topics of discussion, we will be talking about the role of the school counselor, although similar but yet so different at the high school level, and you'll see why. The student support services and what we offer is not just the school counseling team that provides the support, but there's a plethora of other folks that do provide support to our students and families. We are going to talk about the student and parent portal. Scheduling for grade 10. I know you just got here and we're already planning for grade 10, but that's how we work here. We always are thinking not only the present and prepare for the present, but we always look at the future and prepare you and get you equipped for the future. The general diploma requirements, pathways, diploma types, and seals. That's going to be very important information that you will be taking with you, and I will enclose a link so that you can refer to the NYSED diploma requirements page, the New York State Education Department diploma requirements page. And we're going to talk about a little bit about Naviance. And then in the breakout sessions, you'll listen and you'll hear about, again, resources and post-secondary information, Naviance, etc. I just want to let you know that you should have picked up a packet which has the talking points, the outline, and the supporting documents that go along with this presentation, as well as the presentation that the counselors will be providing, as well as 2 surveys. You have the parent survey and you have the student survey. Entonces, hay 2 paquetes, 3 papeles que tienen que tener. Tienen un paquete de información de la presentación que se está dando ahorita, al igual que con su consejera, que va a ser momentáneamente en unos 15 minutos. Y también tienen en su mano una encuesta de estudiante y una encuesta de padres que tienen que llenar. So please feel free to complete that survey, the parent and student survey. It allows us, and especially the school counselors, to get to know a little bit about you, and as well as our students. And so the role of the counselor is, like I said, it has evolved over the past 20 to 30 years. And so the school counselor is one that is first and foremost an advocate that helps and assists students with their independent skills by teaching and guiding students to communicate with others as well as implement self-advocacy skills. So once the student comes into the high school, we do understand that it is a transitional year. We do understand that rules and policies, et cetera, were different at a different buildings, i.e. Finley or wherever, if you came from a different middle school. And so the counselors are prepared to guide your student to provide some advice in terms of self-advocacy, independence, and I will talk more about that, especially when it comes to the student portal. School counselors also assist with the academic planning, and that piece would be the college and career readiness by the course selection process, which will begin in about, I would say, a month or so. School counselors also serve as a liaison between students, parents, and teaching staff by making sure that students are in communication with teachers and attending extra help, collaborating with teachers and PPS staff or support staff with regards to team meetings and CSE meetings. School counselors also provide support not only from an academic and college and career readiness perspective, but a social emotional support. And so that tier 1 level of support is provided by the certified school counselor. And if there is a need for a higher level of care or intervention, that would require either a social worker or a psychologist or an outside agency, that counselor will be providing that information to the family as well as the student. And then assist students with acclimating and acculturating into the high school, whether it's academically, getting involved, taking rigorous classes, as rigorous as the student can take and handle. We also want to make sure that the students are happy and they're transitioning well, that they feel welcome and safe. But also we want to make sure that they are making new friends and that they are feeling just comfortable coming here, because this is they're here for a big portion of their waking day. So we just want to make sure that that your students are feeling welcome, they're happy, they're successful, and in turn they will be very successful academically and after high school. And so what I said before, in terms of the team, student support services team, you have the school counselors that I just introduced. They are master's level certified school counselors. Then you have the school social worker, and so that person will be intervening as needed when it comes to anything that has to do with mental health or social and personal matters. The school psychologist is typically the one that not only provides maybe some counseling, but some testing if need be, if there are any learning or academic concerns. We have the community assistant, who is the person that does outreach, especially when there's a need to talk about concerns about attendance. We have teachers. That's actually the person that the student sees on a daily basis for 40 to 45 minutes. And then we have deans, and although deans, that word has a stigma of like discipline, the deans are here also to support your child. And we have administrators that we oversee different departments. We have Mr. Cusack, our principal, our assistant principal, Mr. Smith, and our assistant principal, Ms. Avelli. And I just want to take a moment talking about administrators. I want to welcome Mr. Christian Bowen, our new superintendent, to our 9th grade event. So thank you so much for coming, and welcome again. And so what it is important, remember what I said about self-advocacy, right, and students becoming more independent. What we do encourage all students is to log on to the student portal. So we know that a lot of families, you are used to going into the portal and viewing grades, and so now you're going to be able to see your students' transcript, progress report, report cards, the schedule. And so here are the instructions. I will be, again, sharing this through the website, but for sake of time, I will definitely breeze right through this. But you can get on the student portal through or the parent portal through the website, hufsd.edu, and under parents or students, you can locate that portal. let's move on. So remember, we're talking about the here and now, but we also talk about right away about the future. So scheduling for grade 10, which is similar to future grade levels in October, November, the 24-25, yes, you heard it right, next year's high school curriculum guide will be posted on the district's website. So what that means is that all the new course offerings, we have new and up and coming AP classes being offered, which I want to plug in a new event that we're having October 11th. We have an AP 101 workshop, which is catered for grades 8 through 11, so you don't want to miss it because we're going to talk about AP course offerings. And so October and November is very important for you, and I will be sending a communication with regards to setting up your individual meetings with your respective counselors. In November and December, students and parents will meet with their counselor to select courses. This is called pre-registration or pre-reg. And so we encourage you to, as soon as you receive my letter stating you can go ahead and call guidance, please go ahead and feel free to make that appointment. It's very, very important that at least you meet with your counselor once a year to discuss, like I said, course offerings and see where the student is academically. So then in January and in February, the tentative program recommendations will be made, referred to the second quarter report card. So what that means is that teachers, your current teachers, will be entering their course recommendations, whether the student is recommended to a Regents level class, honors, or AP class for the following year. So like I said, pay attention to the comments section of that second quarter report card, which is posted in mid-February. In June, the final recommendations from the teachers will be made, and or department supervisors. If there's any concerns or questions, absolutely you can reach out to your counselor. And then in August of 2024, schedules will be posted online, just about a week before the new year begins. And it takes a long time to go over this slide and the information, and so please note that this information is not the only time that you'll hear about diploma requirements, whether it is course credit requirements or assessments, Regents exams requirements, and so please feel free to, bring this up or ask questions in your pre-registration meetings. But I know that the counselors do go over the diploma requirements, and it can be very tricky because there's different pathways and seals and diplomas. But essentially, the students must fulfill or complete a minimum of 22 credits, right, of courses. And they need to pass at least 5 Regents exams in order to go for their Regents or earn their Regents diploma. And so we do have what's called a 4+1 pathway in which the student would need to pass the ELA or English Regents, a math Regents, a social studies Regents, a science Regents, plus 1 pathway assessment in one of the following areas: arts, CDAS, which it has to do with work and tech education, CTE, humanities, world language, and STEM, which is either an extra science or math, and that's for a Regents diploma. There are students that will earn, because of their grades that are obtained on the Regents exam, that will earn a local diploma. And then there are students that would pass other, like 2 extra math Regents and 1 extra science Regents, and take 3 credits of world language and pass that FLB exam, and so they would be earning a Regents diploma with advanced designation. I told you that it was very involved and it could be very confusing, but with time with your counselor one-on-one, you'll be able to discuss this and ask questions. And then there's different types of seals. We have the honors seals, the mastery in math, mastery in science, the CTE seal, New York State Seal of Civic Readiness. That's we're on year 2, giving students that seal, and the New York State Seal of Biliteracy, and we reward that seal for students not only showing proficiency in English, but a second language or even a third language. And so when I post this slide on the website, there's a hyperlink in the bottom that takes you to that family resource page straight to NYSED, which describes in detail about the diploma requirements. And so we are going to also talk about Naviance. Naviance is a web-based program that helps the student with the college and career readiness process. You're going to hear about Naviance many of times, either from the pre-reg meetings and pre-reg meetings, as well as the classroom presentations. How do you log into Naviance would be through Clever. And I think students, you know what Clever is, right? And it's a one-step sign in, and you see the tile, Naviance tile, and you'll be able to log in through Clever. I just want to emphasize that Naviance also has an email feature. So when you log into Naviance, we're going to ask our students to please enter their personal email address. They might see the HUFSD EDU address, and that is not an active email address. We hope one day it will be, but for now it's not, and everyone needs to update their email address from the default HUFSD to a personal email address. So Naviance also has a plethora of resources such as scholarships, talks about the military as well. That's a new feature. Has different surveys, career interest profiler, and personality, Holland Code survey and profiler. And also, with regards to the common application, which is your college, I know I'm talking about college already, but senior year, Naviance will need to be matched with the common application, which is that most popular application that our seniors use in order to apply to their schools. And here's the main page. For each grade level, Naviance has a welcome page where it states the goals and tasks that students must complete. And so what we encourage our 9th grade students is to set goals for the year, set goals for the quarter, set goals for the month. You're able to look at, I don't know, have you heard students, maybe you want to nod a little bit, but did you hear, have you done Road Trip Nation and watch videos and surveys about people executing their careers? That's also on Naviance. And you can also look at and research a specific college, their admission criteria. And so why do you need to know this? It's because it also delineates the courses that you need to take in high school in order to gain admission into that university. Or it also describes past Huntington alumni with their GPA and SAT, ACT scores, and whether they were accepted and or deferred or not accepted into that university. And so that way there is a way that you can compare your GPA and say, okay, what are my chances of getting into that college based on the historical data that has been entered from our students from previous graduating classes. So Naviance, like I said, has the Explore Careers feature and also the activity sheet or resume builder feature. And so I'm going to stop talking because the real presentation that means a lot to you guys is with your counselors. And so I'm going to ask you to please move on to these rooms. For Mrs. Alballero is room 114, 114. Para la señora Alballero es la aula 114. Puede seguir a pasar a donde el aula 114. Ms. Bonilla, 110. Mrs. Bonilla en el cuarto 110. Mrs. Brononi will remain here. If you do not know who your counselor is, if you can quickly go to your portal and check your schedule, and your counselor's name will be there. Mrs. Hernandez will be in 109. La señora Hernandez en el 109. Mr. Lashin, room 140. Ms. Marcelin Cafe B, which is right outside here. And Ms. Vargas, she's not here, but we will be meeting in room 110. So thank you so much, and have a great night.